welcome to Googly Goals, brought to you by Googly Mania. I am Asmita Banerjee, your host for the evening, and I have with me Yuri Sharma, our football expert. So today we will be talking about the Argentina versus France match. So Yuri, both Argentina's Messi and Kante from France have neck-to-neck points. Who do you think will dominate the match?
It's difficult to say it right now because both of them are kind of players who can play up for the team when they wish to. It's very much like the team can depend on these players. So both of these teams, like France as well as Argentina, they have been through quite a crappy path to this knockout stage. France relied on an own goal and draw against Denmark, if I'm not wrong, as well as Argentina. They were nearly eliminated until Messi as well as Marcos Rojo brought them back into the competition. So it's like both of these players have the ability to take in the pressure at any point they wish to. Although Messi didn't play really well in the first two opening matches of the World Cup, but he showed that the team could depend on him, or he could be an asset for the team in the match against Nigeria. As well as for Kante, he couldn't give a very good performance in the first match when the French got ahead because of an own goal against Australia. So it's really tough to say because it will be kind of a neck-to-neck competition. Both these teams are really strong. Obviously, they have come through the entire 32 qualifying teams and reached the knockout stage. So obviously, we are expecting a lot of energy, a lot of, if I'm not wrong, yellow cards too from these two teams in today's match. So I think these players will try to gain as much as goals as possible, so that they have that spot to play against Uruguay or Portugal in the next match. So these players, I'm sure, will play up today to the expectations.
The average age of the French team is actually lower than that of the Argentinians. How do you think that can affect the game, if it does at all?
France team has a very good defense. If you have seen their earlier matches, they have allowed only 5 shots in their last 3 group games. In fact, I think this was the best defensive performance from any team in the World Cup till now, like in this World Cup 2018, because no team has managed just 5 shots, let 5 shots into their goals. So the French also have another additional point, that is their pace. Their pace and aggression is obviously more than Argentina, the French team playing in the 2018 World Cup is very different from the ones we have seen in 2014 or 2012. So it's a kind of a new team with new energy, with new players like Paul Pogba, with Griezmann, and people who can really play down when they wish to. And Argentina, on the other hand, yes, they have quite a lot of icons. You have Aguero, you have Messi, of course. He's kind of the god of football. I'm not taken into the consideration Ronaldo, obviously. So anyways, Argentina also has quite a lot of stalwarts, but their defense.
Rojo.
Yes, yeah. Obviously, Rojo has come up in the last match. Yeah. He showed that he can also be an asset. So, but Argentina's defense is not quite good, and a team, if they need to qualify from this stage, like from this knockout to the next stage, they need to have both defense as well as a good attacking system.
Argentina have won their last four matches
yes.
against France in all the competitions. How do you think that will be advantageous for Argentina? Or do you think that will affect the overall confidence of the French team?
As I told before, the French team, the ones which are playing in the 2018 World Cup, is very different from the teams that have played in the past years. These players are new, and Deschamps has tried to create an entire good team which balances both everything. Like the midfield is strong, the attacking system is strong, the defensive system is strong. So obviously this team is going to be very different from from the one Argentinians would expect or ever played against. Whereas France, on the other hand, have an added possibility of playing a tested team. They have played against this team, not against the entire team, but some of the players. They know their tactics, so obviously they're going to put it into use. Even though Argentina is kind of favorites, but you cannot just ignore that the French people have much more strength. Their pace is quite going through the back style of the Argentine team. So obviously it's going to be one hell of a match where we are going to see a lot of things. And also, if you just consider that one of the biggest asset that Deschamps did was to rest his good players against the match against Denmark. So he's going to put them all together because they have now been rested, they are now brimming with energy, and he's expecting to let go of a completely full team with fully packed with energy. Whereas if you see Argentina, Sampaoli can't make any good team combinations. He is going to receive the flag. He has received the flag due to Argentina's performance against Croatia. So it's all going to be the same team that we have seen against Nigeria. So I think people already know how they are going to play their tactics, and if they are not creative with their play today, it might be kind of expected that the French know how to attack and defend against them today.
Well, here we'll take a short break. We'll be back after the break.
जिक्र जब भी जीएसटी की होती है तो नजरें ढूंढती हैं जीएसटी दोस्त विकास धनानिया को।
नमस्कार विकास जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आने के लिए।
विकास धनानिया बात करते हैं पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ
कि यहाँ पर गुड्स को रिसीव्ड नहीं किया गया है। हाँ, लेकिन तब आपको ये प्रूफ करना पड़ेगा कि भाई हमने तो हैंड रिक्शा से मंगा लिया है।
आम आदमी जीएसटी को जानना चाहता है, लिहाजा सवालों का अंबार है। इन्हीं सवालों को समेटते हैं हमारे होस्ट राकेश। हर ट्यूसडे और फ्राइडे रात 8 बजे होस्ट राकेश और दोस्त विकास धनानिया हो जाते हैं आमने सामने, सिर्फ आपके लिए जियो बांग्ला पर। देखिए जीएसटी की बात दोस्त के साथ जियो बांग्ला पर।
Welcome after the short break. Yuri, so who do you think are the key players of this match?
The key players are obviously not new in this match. We have seen them perform in the group stages. I would like to start with the French team. Obviously, they have quite a lot of good players. You have Griezmann. You have Pogba. I think Pogba will be quite determined today to grasp up a very good performance because he has been getting a lot of criticisms on his performance in the group stage matches. So this is the stage when he can show that yes, he is a good player and he can be a great team member for the France team. So I think he will be taking the chance today of going really good in the playground. Also, you have tested players like Kylian. He showed that he is a very good player in the group stages itself. And the defense, the entire defense of the French team is also quite good. And in fact, the entire defensive players in the French team are all the key players because, you know, they have been the most phenomenal for bringing France into this stage. Because if you see France's performance in the group stage, they haven't been quite good with the ball, with the attacking side. If their defense would have not been so good, I'm pretty sure that they would have knocked out of the group stage right back then. Also, when you see that it was just the first match was a lucky one because Australia got an own goal. The second match was also a priority of the defense defense of the French team. They defended very valiantly the Denmark shots, and also they even did not allow the Denmark people to get their shots into the goal on the penalty area. As I said, that they allowed only 5 shots in the 3 matches, which is I think no team has done this in this World Cup. And when you come into the attack inside, some players are going to be missing because of injury, if I'm not wrong. But I think Deschamps is going to bring in the most ferocious players today, because they are quite adamant to reach the next stage. When you come to Argentina, Sampaoli obviously doesn't have a say in picking up the team today, because, you know, in his disastrous team lineups when he put up during the match against Croatia, he got so much of flack. And if I'm not wrong, and if the reports around the internet are not wrong, then in the match against Nigeria, it wasn't Sampaoli who did everything. It was all the team members who had started a silent mutiny against their coach and brought a team that could easily fight against the Nigerian team. So I think that team is going to come back again today, because, you know, they are full on confidence. They know what to do, and under pressure. Obviously, leading them is
So you think the team lineup will be repeated?
Yes, obviously. Argentina don't also have any other options, because there are no good players who are at rest. All the players are on the field, on the team lineup, so they have only one option. Whereas the French can just change into substitutes. They have options. And also Deschamps, you have to add this point that Deschamps' team selection hasn't been as quite disastrous as Sampaoli's. So when you come to the Argentina team, obviously Messi is leading them, the savior. A lot of people are obviously expecting from him, even though if he doesn't play up, he will be supporting his rest of the teammates to play up. Then you have a lot of people like Aguero who can play up really well. Rojo also showed, like you said earlier, that he's a quite good player, and now he can easily execute the passes to get a goal into the France's net. So Argentina is quite a strong team, but I'm not sure if their defense are going to be really strong against the French team, because everyone has been saying from the beginning that their backup line against the defense is very weak. And you know, if a team doesn't have both a good attack and a defense, if the strikers are only doing the midfielders' job, what is the point of that team playing against a formidable team in this stage of World Cup at least?
Right.
So Argentina, if they want to win this match today, they have got to take care of the defense lineups, and their attacking system also has to ensure that they put in enough goals so that even though their defense is not that good, they can still win the match.
What is your final scoreline prediction?
It's quite difficult, you know, because this World Cup has been full of surprises. In fact, people are putting in statistics, people are putting in favorites, but when you suddenly see the match, it's completely going the other way around. I mean, the statistics are failing. When you see that, supposing two teams, A and B, are facing each other, and A has a more record of victories over B, suddenly you see that the team B is winning the matches, and it's quite surprising actually. And you know, who would have expected that South Korea would have just knocked out Germany out of the World Cup?
That's right.
So I think most of the predictions out there had given a complete 90% chance to Germany, whereas the match proved something else. So I think Argentina are going in as favorites, but when you weigh in the options, when you see their strengths and weaknesses, France has a much more balanced team. Whereas Argentina, yes, they have quite a good players. They can play up when they want to, but it's quite difficult because, you know, the French team has a lot of pace. They have a much locked attack and aggression, and their defense is also, as I said, is quite spectacular this World Cup. So I think it can be 2-1, but you never know because as we saw against Nigeria, Argentina played up really well 3-0, and they ensure that they go through. So there's also an additional point that Argentina can play well under the pressure, while French cannot are not quite equipped with that level of pressure, because, you know, Argentina were on the brink of elimination, 5 minutes away from elimination when they played up. French haven't yet been quite tested in that situation, so we can't just say that the French are that much more experienced. But there's also the factor of a much more balanced team, so I think it might be a 2-1 score prediction.
Thank you, Yuri. Do tell us about your score prediction for the match in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share our Facebook page, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.